All right, today we're going to dive into a really powerful idea from the legendary Jim Rohn. It's this: success isn't something you chase after, it's something you actually attract. So let's break down exactly how you can become a success magnet. We're always told to pursue success, right? To hunt it down, to go after it with everything you've got. But what if that whole approach is, well, completely backward? This is the core message from Jim Rohn. You don't chase success. You attract it by the person you become. It's not about what you get in the end. It's about who you are. So the real question is, how do you become that person? Well, it all starts with three key pillars.
Okay, pillar one. This is so crucial. Before you can see any results out there in the real world, you have to do the work on the inside. This is all about building that solid foundation, mastering your own mindset and your whole perspective on things.
The very first step, the absolute bedrock, is taking full and complete responsibility for your life. You have to stop saying, I can't because of this or that, and start asking, okay, how can I? Rohn used to tell this story about a guy complaining about everything, his terrible job, his boss, his pay, and Rohn just looked at him and asked, well, what are you doing about it? The man had no answer. You see, successful people don't wait around. They make things happen. You have to see yourself as being in the driver's seat of your own life, period. Think of your mind like a garden. It's a perfect analogy. If you plant seeds of negativity, seeds of doubt, seeds of fear, guess what's going to flourish? But if you are intentional, if you plant seeds of positivity, confidence, and belief in yourself, that is what will grow. This means you got to be a gatekeeper for your mind. Be careful about the books you read, the stuff you watch, and especially the people you let into your inner circle. And this story just perfectly nails the power of attitude. Jim Rohn tells of two shoe salesmen sent to a developing country. The first guy calls back to the home office and says, "This is hopeless. Pack it up. No one here even wears shoes." The second salesman calls back and he's totally buzzing with energy. And he says, "Send everything you've got. This is an incredible opportunity. Everyone here needs shoes." It's the exact same situation, right? But two totally different outcomes, all based on attitude. A success magnet always sees the opportunity. Okay, so your inner world is getting sorted out. Fantastic. But how do you actually translate that into real-world results? Well, that brings us to pillar two, which is all about action. It's the bridge that connects your internal mindset to your external achievements. Rohn's process for this is so simple but incredibly powerful. First, your goals have to be your goals. I mean, really yours, not what your parents want for you or what society expects of you. It has to be what you truly, deeply desire. Second, you have to write them down. There's just something magical that happens when you put pen to paper. It's like you're telling your subconscious mind, hey, listen up, this is important. And finally, you have to act on them. Because a goal without consistent action, that's just a daydream.
And that consistency, well, it brings us to a word that, let's be honest, isn't always super popular: discipline. Ron calls it the bridge between your goals and actually accomplishing them. So how do you build that bridge? Well, he always said there are no elevators to success, you have to take the stairs. Discipline is what moves you up, one step at a time.
Look, it's so easy to get overwhelmed by the sheer size of your goal, right? But the key is to just focus on laying one brick today. Every small, consistent action you take, that's a brick. One brick might not seem like much, but if you lay one every single day, over time, you build a fortress. That's what success is. It's just the result of all these small, daily efforts compounded over time. All right, and if you ever feel like giving up, I want you to think about this guy, Colonel Sanders. He was 65 years old when he started trying to sell his chicken recipe. Can you imagine? He drove from restaurant to restaurant, just getting the door slammed in his face time and time again. He was told no 1,009 times before he finally got his first yes. Let that sink in. 1,009 rejections. Imagine if he had given up after 100 no's, or 500, or even the 1,000th rejection. We wouldn't have KFC today. That right there is the unbelievable power of persistence. Okay, so you've got your mindset on lock. You're taking disciplined action. But how do you keep that fire burning for the long haul? Pillar 3 is all about the fuel, the practices that make sure you keep growing and, as a result, keep attracting more and more success. Rohn was a massive advocate for lifelong learning. He argued that what you learn after you're done with your formal schooling is what truly creates wealth and success. Think about it. Successful people are almost always readers. They are constantly learning, constantly growing. So let me ask you, What are you reading right now that's helping you grow into the person you want to be? This might be Ron's most famous quote, and it is a powerful, powerful reminder that your network literally shapes you. The people you associate with, they influence your thinking, your ambition, your standards for yourself. So just take a second and really think about it. Are the 5 people you spend the most time with inspiring you? Are they pushing you to be better? So when you put all these pieces together, what you start to see is that becoming a success magnet isn't some destination you arrive at. Nope, it's a continuous journey of growth and self-improvement. So really, at the end of the day, it all boils down to these core practices. Taking full ownership of your life, cultivating that positive, opportunity-focused attitude, building your success brick by brick with discipline and persistence, committing to being a lifelong learner, and intentionally, carefully curating the people who influence you. These aren't just one-time tasks. They have to become your ongoing habits.
You know, Rohn's entire philosophy, everything we've talked about, it really just boils down to this one single, incredibly empowering question. Success is not an accident. It's not luck. It's a choice. And that choice begins by deciding who you want to become. So who will you choose to become? Starting right now, today.